Welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're heading into FA Cup fourth round weekend. And we've got a championship clash to break down Stoke City versus Cardiff City at the Bet365 Stadium.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this one is that both these clubs are in the championship, but going on. They're coming into this match with totally different momentum.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you've got Stoke, who are really battling to stay above that relegation zone.
Hmm.
And then you've got Cardiff City, who have been on a tear recently.
Oh, yeah, until they ran into a buzzsaw against Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. That Leeds match was brutal. 7 goals.
Uh,
But, aside from that,
let's rewind a bit. Look
yeah,
at the form coming into this match.
yeah.
Stoke City all over the place in the league. But there's one thing that really jumps out at me. 3 clean sheets in their last 3 at home.
Those clean sheets are interesting because they actually reveal a tactical shift by Stoke. They've adopted like a low block, and they're really focusing on tight marking in those central areas. Opponents are getting stifled. Now, the big question is, can they replicate that against Cardiff's attack? Which is pretty dynamic, even after that loss against Leeds.
Yeah, because Cardiff, they knocked out a Premier League side, Sheffield United, in the previous round.
It's true. They've shown that they can play giant killer in this tournament.
Yeah.
So,
You have to wonder about the psychological impact of that Leeds match.
yeah.
Will they be more cautious? Or will they come out with something to prove? Their response to that match is really going to set the tone for this entire game.
And also the historical context here. Stoke's trying to break a curse in the fourth round.
Mhm.
They haven't won a match at this stage since the 2013-14 season. You know what's really strange is that Cardiff has its own fourth-round demons. They've also lost their last 4 matches in this round, going all the way back to the 2013-14 season.
Mm.
It's kind of wild that both teams are battling the same historical hurdle at the exact same time.
Almost feels like destiny, right? But before we get too carried away with the narratives, let's look at the head-to-head.
Yeah.
And here's where things get a little concerning for Stoke City fans. Cardiff are unbeaten in their last 9 matches against Stoke. You have to go all the way back to February 2020 for the last time Stoke beat them.
That's a long time to be in your opponent's shadow. It can really get in your head.
Yeah.
However, head-to-head records can be deceiving. It's about the matchups on the day.
Yeah.
And those matchups are further complicated by some key player absences and some potential returns.
Right. The injury report, Stoke will be without Alamati. He scored on his debut, but is cup-tied. Also potential injuries to Gooch and Berger.
Losing Al-Hamadi is a blow. He was a spark in that attack for Stoke. Puts even more pressure on their younger attacking players. They'll need to step up in a big way.
Yeah.
Now, Cardiff also has a long injury list.
Oh, okay.
But there's one name that could change the complexion of this entire match. Aaron Ramsey,
Ramsey.
the veteran midfielder.
Yeah, he's been out injured, but there's a chance he could return for this match.
And that's a game changer. Even at this stage of his career, he brings so much experience and playmaking ability to the midfield. If he starts, it shifts the balance of power significantly in Cardiff's favor.
Mm-hmm.
Big questions. Will he be fit enough? How will Stoke try to contain him if he is? These are questions we'll have to see answered on the pitch.
So on the one hand, we've got Stoke potentially relying on defensive solidity and hoping to catch Cardiff on the counterattack. On the other, we've got Cardiff maybe a bit vulnerable after that Leeds loss, but with the potential return of a game changer in Ramsey.
It's a fascinating tactical chess match, and that's what we're going to dig into next. How will these lineups, these injuries, these contrasting styles actually play out on the field? Let's dive in and see what we can uncover.
Okay, so we've set the stage. Now let's really get into the tactical nitty-gritty. You mentioned Stoke's defensive shift. 3 clean sheets at home. But how sustainable is that approach, especially against a team like Cardiff?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Stoke's recent success defensively really hinges on discipline and organization. They basically ceded possession and focused on denying space in dangerous areas.
Right.
And it's been effective,
Hmm.
but it's also risky. Against a team like Cardiff, who could be very direct and dangerous on the counter, any lapses in concentration could be very, very costly.
Yeah, and on the flip side, Cardiff's high-pressing style leaves them susceptible to quick counterattacks,
Right.
which is something that Stoke could exploit. They've got those pacey wingers like Lowe's who could cause real problems if given space to run.
Exactly. This is where the potential return of Aaron Ramsey for Cardiff becomes so intriguing, because he's a master at controlling tempo and dictating play. If he's fit, Cardiff could choose to be more patient in possession, probing for openings, rather than relying solely on their high press.
That would be a fascinating adjustment to see. And it would force Stoke to adapt as well. They couldn't just sit back and absorb pressure if Cardiff is slowing things down and playing a more controlled game.
You're spot on. This match could very well become a battle of contrasting styles.
Yeah.
Stoke disciplined and compact, looking to hit on the break. Cardiff potentially more measured with Ramsey, trying to unlock Stoke's defense with clever movement and passing.
And within that tactical battle, there are some fascinating individual matchups to watch. You've got Stoke's young center backs, likely to be Phillips and Rose facing a seasoned striker like Kian Etet. That's youth versus experience right there.
And then you've got the midfield battle. If Ramsey plays for Cardiff, he'll likely be up against a young and energetic Stoke midfield. Can they disrupt his rhythm? Can they limit his influence on the game? That's going to be crucial for Stoke's chances.
And on the attacking end, we talked about Stoke's pacey wingers. They'll be looking to exploit any space behind Cardiff's fullbacks. But Cardiff has threats of their own. They've got players like Ojo and Philogene who can create havoc with their dribbling and directness.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about set pieces. Both teams have been dangerous from dead ball situations this season. Any free kick or corner could be a potential game changer.
So much to watch for in this match. But for you listening at home, what are the key things to focus on as you're watching this unfold? What will reveal the most about which team is likely to come out on top?
I would pay close attention to the midfield battle. Who's controlling the tempo? Who's winning the second balls? That will tell you a lot about which team is dictating the flow of the game. Also, keep an eye on how Stoke's young defenders are handling Cardiff's attacking threats. Are they composed? Are they making rash decisions? That's another key area to watch.
And I'd add, look at how Cardiff responds to setbacks. If they concede early, how do they react? Do they panic? Or do they stick to their game plan? Their resilience, especially after that Leeds loss, will be telling.
Great points. And don't forget the psychological aspect. Both teams have a history of stumbling in the fourth round. Can they overcome that mental hurdle? It's not just about tactics and physical ability. It's about mentality and belief as well.
You're so right. And that leads perfectly into another layer of this match that we need to explore. Those fourth-round demons we mentioned earlier. Both Stoke and Cardiff have struggled mightily at this stage of the FA Cup. It's almost uncanny how both teams are facing the same historical obstacle.
It's almost as if this match is a battle not just between two teams, but also against their own past failures in this competition. It adds a whole other dimension to the drama.
It's like a psychological thriller playing out on the pitch. And for fans of both clubs, it must be incredibly nerve-wracking. The hope of a cup run mixed with the fear of another fourth-round heartbreak.
It's a testament to the power of the FA Cup, the way it can tap into these deep emotions and historical narratives. It's not just about winning or losing on the day. It's about legacy, about overcoming past disappointments, about writing a new chapter in the club's history.
And for the neutral fan, it makes this match even more compelling. It's not just a clash of styles. It's a battle against history. It's a test of character. It's a chance to witness a team potentially exercise some demons and take a step towards FA Cup glory.
It's all those things and more. And that's why we love the FA Cup. It's a competition where anything is possible, where upsets happen, where dreams are made and hearts are broken. And this match between Stoke and Cardiff has all the makings of another classic FA Cup encounter.
It's a match that could be decided by a moment of brilliance, a defensive lapse, a refereeing decision, or even a bit of luck. That's the beauty of it. We can analyze all we want, but in the end, the pitch will tell the story.
And that's the story we're all waiting to see unfold. Who will rise to the occasion? Who will succumb to the pressure? Who will write their names into the FA Cup folklore? We'll find out soon enough.
I can't wait. Now, before we send you off to enjoy the match, let's leave you with one final thought to ponder as you watch.
Let's give them something to chew on, something to spark their own analysis as the match unfolds.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the tactical side of things, but what about the mental side? Which team will show more grit, more determination, more resilience when the going gets tough?
Because in a cup tie like this, where the stakes are high and the pressure is immense, sometimes it's the team with the stronger mentality, the unwavering belief that prevails in the end. The team that can weather the storm, that can dig deep when it matters most, that can find a way to win even when things aren't going their way.
It's about who wants it more, who's willing to fight for every inch of the pitch, who's willing to put their bodies on the line for their teammates and for the badge on their shirt.
Exactly. So as you watch this match, pay attention not just to the tactics and the individual performances, but also to the body language, the intensity, the reactions to setbacks. Which team looks like they want it more? Which team looks like they're willing to do whatever it takes to win?
Because in the end, that might be the difference between a glorious victory and a heartbreaking defeat. That's the beauty of the FA Cup. It's a competition where anything is possible, where underdogs can become heroes, and where dreams can come true. We can't wait to see how this chapter in the FA Cup story unfolds.
Enjoy the match. May the best team win, and may the magic of the FA Cup continue to inspire us all.
It's amazing, isn't it? The FA Cup, I mean, it just throws up these incredible moments
Oh, yeah.
of drama, of tension, of pure sporting theater. And those moments often hinge on something totally unpredictable, like a brilliant individual performance or,
A lucky bounce.
yeah,
Or a controversial refereeing decision.
Yeah.
You just never know.
exactly. The FA Cup has a way of defying expectations.
It really does.
It creates these narratives that you just couldn't script.
Mm-hmm.
And for both Stoke City and Cardiff City, this match represents a real opportunity to kind of etch their own story into that rich tapestry of FA Cup history.
It does.
Think about it. For Stoke, it's a chance to escape that grind of a relegation battle
Oh, yeah.
and experience the exhilaration of a cup run.
Yeah.
It's a chance for their young players to sort of make a name for themselves on a national stage.
Absolutely. And for Cardiff, it's an opportunity to build on that recent cup success they've had
Yes.
and show that they can compete with anyone, regardless of the opponent or the circumstances.
Yeah.
It's a chance to prove their resilience after that heavy defeat to Leeds.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fans, too.
Oh, totally.
It's a chance to experience the magic of the FA Cup firsthand.
Yeah.
The nervous anticipation, the collective roar of the crowd,
Yeah.
the shared agony and ecstasy of every twist and turn of the match. These are the moments that create lifelong memories.
For sure. And, as we've talked about in this deep dive, this match is layered with these intriguing subplots.
Oh, yeah, lots to unpack.
That tactical battle between contrasting styles,
Yeah.
the potential impact of returning players like Aaron Ramsey,
Right.
the psychological weight of history, and those fourth-round demons that both clubs are trying to overcome.
A lot on the line.
And as we wrap up our analysis here, I just can't help but feel a sense of excitement, anticipation for what's about to unfold on the pitch.
Yeah, me too. It's going
Oh.
to be an interesting one. The beauty of the FA Cup is its unpredictability. We can analyze and dissect all we want,
Right.
but ultimately it's the players who will determine the outcome. It's their skill, their determination, their ability to sort of rise to the occasion. That's what's going to shape the narrative of this match.
Totally. So to all of you listening out there, get ready for a roller coaster of emotions. This match has the potential to be a tense, dramatic, and ultimately unforgettable FA Cup encounter. We've given you the insights, the analysis, the food for thought. Now it's up to you to savor the spectacle and see how the story unfolds.
Enjoy the match. May the best team win, and may the magic of the FA Cup continue to captivate and inspire